Here is an Assamese folktale, and the title of this folktale is Tejimola. Once upon a time, there lived a merchant with his beautiful wife and daughter Tejimola. He soon lost his wife and married another woman. The daughter was then under the care of her stepmother. The stepmother showed fake love towards Tejimola in front of the merchant to please him, but deep within, she actually hated Tejimola for her intelligence, beauty, and the love her father had for her. One day, the merchant had to travel for his business trip. He left his wife and Tejimola and set off. During the absence of the father, the stepmother became very cruel towards Tejimola. He scolded her, made her work tirelessly, and even better. She wanted to get rid of the daughter. She thought, one day we have to marry this girl and give dowry as well. Why should we waste money in someone who's not even mine? I'll get rid of her and take all the riches to myself. So one day, a friend invited Tejimola to her wedding, and to her surprise, the stepmother let her go. She packed some clothes and jewelries for Tejimola and told her to open the box only after she reached her friend's house. Tejimola agreed, and when she reached her friend's house and opened the box, she was shocked to find old rags and broken pieces of jewelries. She said, "Oh no, what will my mother do to me?" A friend, however, lent her some clothes, and after the wedding, when she reached home and showed the box to her stepmother, the stepmother reacted in her worst possible way. She took her to deki, which is a traditional Assamese wooden rice powder, and made her pound rice. As she was doing this, she slipped the girl's hand into the heavy tool and crushed it. She then told her to do it with the legs and repeated the same action and crushed her legs. Tejimola was in so much pain that her head fell on the dicky, and taking this chance, the mother crushed her skull and killed her. She then buried her body in the backyard. When the concerned neighbor asked about her whereabouts, she said she hadn't returned from her friend's wedding. One day, an old beggar knocked her door and begged for food. "Could you please pluck some of the law from your backyard?" The stepmother said, "We do not have any law." The beggar took her to the garden, and mother was shocked and left. As the old lady reached out her hands to pluck the law, a voice sang, "Don't stretch out your hands or pluck my fruit, O beggar woman. My name is Tejimola, and my stepmother buried me here, all dressed up in Assamese finery." The old lady got scared and reported this to the evil stepmother. Hearing this, she chopped down the bush and threw its remains in a desolate corner of the garden, which then turned into a plum tree and was noticed by a group of traveling gypsies. They asked the mother and went to pluck the fruits, only to hear the weeping and soulful voice of Tejimola. "Please don't pluck me. Tejimola is my name. My evil stepmother murdered me, and now I am a tree with plums." Startled beyond belief, the gypsies left the tree and promptly reported this to the evil stepmother. Infuriated hearing this, she took the tree with an axe and chopped it down and threw the remains of the tree into the river. One day, her husband was coming home. He was coming by boat. As he looked out to the waves of the rolling river, he spotted the most beautiful lotus he had ever seen in his life. It was large and a beautiful bright pink with edges of white. How my Tejimola would love it, he thought, and reached out to pluck it. As his fingers caressed the very first petal, the lotus sang out in grief, "Please don't pluck me, father. This is I, your Tejimola. Your evil wife murdered me, and now I am a lotus." Stunned, the father thought it to be some kind of witchcraft and decided to challenge the lotus. "If you really are my Tejimola, turn into a bird and enter this cage I hold up and come home with me." The merchant held out a cage, and before his very eyes, the lotus turned into the most beautiful white dove and flew right into his cage. When he got home and asked his wife where Tejimola was, she said the girl had gone to a friend's house and never came back. The merchant turned to the dove in the cage and said, "If you are really Tejimola, turn into a human form and come out of the cage." The dove flew out and morphed into the beautiful Tejimola. The evil stepmother could not believe her eyes, and she fled the house forever. Tejimola and her father embraced, and from hereafter they lived happily.